Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Everyday Experts. I am your host, El Poeta Guasan, aka the Joker Poet. I am here to torment and harass one of my favorite people in the world. Um, he is, in many ways, wrong about a lot of stuff, but he has a lot of very interesting takes and opinions. Um, I do think that he brings a very, very, very interesting point of view to most things that he talks about. Um, I titled this episode "Say Hello to the Bad Guy" because Mr. Nails likes to exist on a plane of, evil and demonic and satanism and all this stuff, satanicism. I know that's not a word. I like the way it sounds. But I do feel like he's a very interesting fellow. So, Mr. Nails is going to be joining me tonight. My welcome to the stage, my very distinguished, overtly opinionated co-host, my very distinguished Lagerfile co-host, one of the people who I try every single day to make his life a little bit more annoying. Without further ado, Mr. Jimmy James Nails.
Just a little bit, not a lot, just a little.
Well, I mean, your idea of a little bit, my idea of a little bit. Um, you know,
As with most things are different.
I do not want to impress. Oh, I do not exist to impress the world. I exist to live my life in a way that will make me happy. James Nails in a nutshell.
And if it happens to impress the world, great.
I don't think you want to impress the world. I don't believe that. So, Mr. Nails, are you ready to take flight?
As I'll ever be.
Oh, bestie.
I do want to comment on something. How long did you
out the block choosing violence?
How long did you comb through my Facebook to find that freaking photograph? I think you managed to find the geekiest photo of me in existence to use as the background today.
I don't know what you're talking about. Hello to our established and debonair engineer, Mr. Munoz. Hello to Linda. Hello to Miss Bigelow, our overtly opinionated co-host. Thank you for showing us love. Mr. Miller, hey. All right. Let's take flight. Never post bad pics, Jimmy. Hello, Captain. That's pretty funny. All right. So, you ready? You ready, James?
As I'll ever be.
All right, Mr. Nails, first question. If you were in a zombie apocalypse, what weapon would you use and why?
Baseball bat. Never runs out of ammo, always functions. You got to really fuck up to break it.
That's true. A wood baseball bat or aluminum baseball bat?
Wood. I think I'd go if you watched Walking Dead, I think I'd go with the old Negan special, the baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Cena. Aluminum bat or a wood baseball bat? Hold on, I have another question to ask. So, we're going to start in a very weird place because that's what I like to do.
It's the only place to start with me, a weird place.
A lot of your life has revolved around certain things. One of those things is entertaining. I could try to list them all, but I can't. I know you have been an actor. I know you have been Burlesque shows, I think. I don't know if you've done any any dancing or anything like that, but I know you've done entertaining. If you could be a professional entertainer in only one of the things, where would you do it at? Like, what kind of professional entertainer would you be?
One of the things I already do, or like if I could do anything?
Sure. Whichever question makes you happy.
How about I answer both? If
How
I
about
could learn to entertain, if I could learn to entertain in any way possible, I would really want to be a professional wrestler. I'm
Okay.
fascinated with that world.
Hold on. I didn't know about the wrestling questions. All right. You want to be a professional wrestler? Go ahead.
Yes. I'm fascinated with the art form that goes into that. And from what I have a lot of friends who do it on like a semi-professional level. And from what I understand, it's very similar to what I already do in terms of like creating a character and always being that character. In wrestling, they call it kayfabe, and like kayfabe, yes. Okay. And I like to think that I live my life with kayfabe, meaning you never break character ever, no matter what.
Right. I like it. So interesting. I didn't know. I wasn't expecting a wrestling question, so we'll go there for a little bit. And again, you always have the ability to say pass, but you won't.
Heard.
Who would you wrestle for? WWE. I don't follow wrestling immensely or deeply, but who would you wrestle for?
I think probably one of the Japanese leagues, because they're a little more real, a little more actually physical than the American leagues.
Oh, bring up Lego's quote, please, Mr. Munoz, if you're there. So you always smash. That sounds deeply lonely.
No. I am the character. The character is me. The character is just me cranked up to 11. Like, it's not really someone else like that makes it sound.
Well, you did say, and I'm going to come to the captain's defense. You did say that you would always want to be in character. You did not always say I would want to be that personification of me.
Okay, I am a character. The me that y'all know is a character. How about that? And that character is just me cranked up to 11.
Okay. All right.
Like me with a little less self-doubt.
Ooh, I like that.
Or as my therapist called it once, me but with main character syndrome.
You with what?
Main character syndrome.
Main character syndrome. I like it. What does that mean? Please define.
It's me living my life as if I were the main character in a story.
Well, since you brought that up, that's interesting. What type of story would you want to live in? Would you want to? I should say.
Probably like a modern fantasy, like they call it urban fantasy, but I hate that turn of phrase. Just like fantasy tropes set in the modern times as opposed to like a faux medieval. There's a particular author named Jim Butcher who writes like witches and warlocks and magic, but in my hometown of Chicago. And if I could live in any book series, it would be that one. Or if comic books count, I would love to live in the same universe as John Constantine.
Okay. This is your world, so anything counts. You use a lot of superlatives like you're a character, you're a weirdo, you are different. How did you get to be such a free spirit?
Getting to a place in my life where I had no choice but.
No choice but.
Rock bottom is a real place.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to come back from that place, I had to both come to grips with, because acceptance is a travel, not a destination. But I had to come to grips with the things about me that were not going to change. For example, the fact that I saw myself as a man. And then once you transgress one sociological boundary like that, it's easy to then see how artificial they all are. And then from there, it's easy to be like, oh, well, that's bullshit, so I'm not going to do it. And I don't care what people think about it. Like, that's bullshit, and I'm not going to do it.
Okay. Just for the record, we haven't gotten into any of my questions yet. I just want you to know that this is
really.
Yes, I love it though. In Batman vs Superman, Lex Luthor says something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing. Lois tells him he's psychotic, and he says psychotic is just a 3-syllable word. What does he say that that's too big when something's too big for little minds to comprehend? Is the idea of a Jimmy Nails too big for the quote-unquote normal person to comprehend?
Yeah.
Coming out to you today.
There's an actual, like, therapeutic belief that crazy people might actually have a more realistic view of the world, which I think is fascinating. I don't know. That was just what that quote brought to mind for me, which is like the Joker paradox, you know. Does the Joker actually see the world as it is? I think there's something to that idea.
Of course he is. He's an agent of chaos. I've seen a lot of people. I've seen not a lot. I've seen a bunch of articles that ask whether the Joker is really the hero, whether Batman's really the bad guy, and I think a lot of that throws people and throws these concepts and puts it on its head. One of the things that you are very vehement about is your satanic following, and kind of being the bad guy, and that's why we titled it "Say Hello to the Bad Guy." Do you really feel that you are the bad guy? Do you think you're the good guy? I'll give you a cop out there. Are you the anti-hero or are you something else?
I think all of that is really relative. To give you a complicated answer to a simple question, I think all of that is incredibly relative. And in my own eyes, I am an anti-hero. But in the eyes of the average Joe Blow from Kentucky somewhere, I'm probably the bad guy. I'm everything that they're afraid of, you know? And rather than be upset by that, I've chosen to embrace it. Like, as problematic as it is to be quoting from this show right now, I'm going to do it anyway because I love the damn show. There's a Rick and Morty quote that pretty much sums up my feelings, which is your boos mean nothing to me because I've seen what makes you cheer.
Ooh.
And it's like, I don't have any desire to be what the average person considers good.
Ooh.
None at all.
So interesting. That brings to mind a Geno Smith quote. Geno Smith from the Seattle Supersonics, Seattle Seahawks. Sorry, he said that he was being interviewed after, I guess, one of his big wins or something, and he said, "You guys wrote me off. I just didn't write back."
I love that.
Right?
I love that.
Oh, what does that mean?
That is pretty much my feelings on the world, right there in a sentence. I love that.
I like it. That's what brought it to mind. Hello, William Harold. Hello, Mr. Bainbridge. Hello, Mr. Miller. Cena's still here. Put some respect on his name. I did put respect on his name. I just quoted him. I thought that was respect. But yes, that made me think of what you were saying. Made me think of you. I guess I'll ask one of my boring questions. You write, you act, you cook, you entertain, you create. If your life was on the line, which one thing would you choose to do to gamble your survival on?
Cook.
Interesting.
No fucking doubt. Because that's something that I've been doing for so long that it is like automatic for me. And it's the only thing on that list that I can do without getting in my head about it. And so, like, if my life were on the line, I would want to do something that I can do without thinking about it, because my thoughts are going to be consumed with panicking that my life is on the line.
I like it.
I've been cooking for
hold on.
2/3 of my life at this point.
Hold on. Let me do my show. Let me do my thing.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it. Was there a movie that you ever saw that you felt was you on the screen? Because I know you're a big movie guy.
Can I give two answers to that one too?
It's your interview.
I can't choose.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Legault, quarterback. QB's the quarterback. It's football. Go ahead, Jimmy.
On a good day, I would like to think that I am V from V for Vendetta. Okay. And on a bad day, and I have more bad days than I have good days, I'm Jobu Tupaki from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, I haven't seen it
yet. The living embodiment of nihilism, basically. And I have, especially in the last few years, I have had many more bad days than good.
Have you? Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Why would you say that?
Without sounding hyperbolic, my entire life was torn asunder by COVID.
Asunder?
And I know I'm not the only one. And I know like people died and like nobody immediately close to me died from the disease. And I'm lucky for that. I want to just preface the rest of my commentary with that. It could have been a lot worse, but like my entire existence in 2019 was performing and cooking in high-end restaurants, and both of those things stopped cold.
Okay.
And then, my partner left me, my long-term partner left me, and all of that human shit. And it just basically tore my entire foundation out from under me. But to build back better, because then I met you guys.
Mm-hmm. And by you guys, you mean Rob and the rest of
I
us.
mean, y'all. I mean, the
Do you
people
mean
listening
Joker?
to this. I mean, you. I
Do you
mean,
mean just
I mean,
me?
y'all.
Only me? Like me exclusively?
If that's what you have to believe, sir.
What genre of movie most resonates with you? I told you I brought the guns today.
Horror. But specifically, like, something's around the corner and you don't know what it is kind of horror.
Okay.
Like, there's a reason why that guy behind me there,
Mm-hmm.
that shoulder, that shoulder is my favorite.
Okay.
Like, the idea of you run and run and run and run and run as fast as you can, and he's walking and he's still right behind you is like, that's life. A horror that you run and run and run as fast as you can, and it's walking and it's still right behind you.
Since you mentioned horror, interestingly enough, Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, Jigsaw, It, and Chucky. I want you to rank them. And which one?
Say the list again.
Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, Jigsaw, It, and Chucky. I want you to rank them, and then I want you to tell me which one you would want to fight against and which one you would want to fight with.
All right. Michael, Jason, Pennywise, Freddy, Chucky. Who am I forgetting?
Jigsaw and It.
Jigsaw. I think Jigsaw's direct.
You said Pennywise, you're right.
Yes.
Who would you want to fight against and who would you want to fight with?
Jigsaw. Because I think like Jigsaw. Like, I think I could think my way out of his puzzles.
Okay, so you want to fight against Jigsaw. Who would you want to fight with?
Against Jigsaw or just in general?
Who would you want to fight again? No, you said you want to go against Jigsaw, right?
Right.
Who
would I want to have on my side fighting Jigsaw?
No, in general.
Oh, Jason. Nah, Michael. Nah,
Jason and Michael.
Michael.
Who wins?
Michael.
Jason and Michael wins. Who wins? Jason and Michael go head to head. Who wins?
Jason, but only because I think he's physically stronger.
Yeah, I think he is bigger.
I've been watching theories that Jason is immortal. So there's that too. That you can't really kill him. But then again, there are those theories out there about Michael too. So I guess that kind of cancels that out.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Captain said Chucky, Jason, Freddy, Pennywise, Michael, Jigsaw. Nice.
Oh, that hurts me. Michael being so low on that list. He's the OG, man. It doesn't get better than the OG. Chucky.
I want a Freddy on my side.
I have some issues with Chucky. I have some issues with Chucky.
Okay.
Because I have a problem with the use of voodoo as a trope, the way it was used in Chucky. I got some problems.
So go ahead, talk about that. So I am going to start an international brawl. Being that Chucky is one of the captain's favorites, and you have vehemently said that you cannot stand Chucky. Tell me why.
I didn't say that. I just said I had some issues with the movie. I love the movie. I just have some issues with the tropes that find themselves used in that film.
Like?
As someone who spent a lot of time living in New Orleans and learning about what voodoo really is, the way it was utilized in that film is both a trope that is overused and represents an actual culture in what I think is a dangerous way. And I have the same issue, and then I will step down off my soapbox, that we do culture, not character, about all kinds of things, Native Americans, tribal Africans, etc., but we can still do like Dr. Facilier, bones on the hat and skull face and purples and greens. Like, I think that's a problem. And I think the only reason that other people don't think of it as a problem is because voodooists don't complain about it.
All right, so we have a question. Mr. Munoz, could you bring up Cena's question, please, sir? What do you think of The Princess and the Frog?
I love the movie. I love the stereotype. The stereotype is what brought me to New Orleans. But there needs to be acknowledgement that it's a stereotype.
Okay.
No different than, a Native American character wearing a war bonnet and doing the blah, 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 blah. Like, no different than that.
The rain dance? The Native American rain dance, you mean?
Exactly. But the stereotypical version is my point. That it is an actual living, breathing religion with actual living, breathing followers is all I'm saying.
It really is. Okay. Now, which world would you want to live in? Not fight. Which world would you want to live in? Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, etc., etc. Which world would you want to live in?
You know who you've left off this list? The Cenobites.
I didn't want to put Pinhead on the list.
That's a world I'd love to live in.
The Cenobites
like
world?
As a Cenobite.
Okay, you want to be a Cenobite.
Word.
Okay, all right.
Of those worlds.
No. You picked your world. That's fine.
Okay.
I like it. I have to go back to the wrestling questions. Have you ever wrestled before?
Yes.
And?
But like super, super, super underground. Back before my body was made of a glass cannon, as they call it in video games. Warehouses in Chicago, like super, super no name shit. 20 years ago, 15 years ago.
Okay. And how did you like it? How did you do it?
I love it. But again, glass cannon. Like, my body is too fucked for it, and I'm 36. Like, that's a dream that I think the ship has sailed on it, unfortunately.
Oh wait, hold on. The captain is raging. I'm still really hung up on overlooking of the mental illness stigma, but okay. I don't know what happened. I didn't actually see the comment. And going on killing spree.
Fair. That's valid.
Yeah. I mean, oh boy.
I think perhaps I am on a soapbox about the voodoo thing because it's relevant to me.
Okay. It's relevant to you, allegedly.
Where like I was the guy breaking out of the institutions in my life. So I guess I don't see that as much as much of a negative.
Mental health, like the asylums and institutions, that's a tricky slope.
For sure.
There
was a really great documentary on YouTube about the history of the asylum as a trope in horror movies. I'll find a link and put it in the Discord.
Oh, okay.
Really, it's like a movie-length documentary. It's great.
What one person would you want to wrestle?
Like wrestler or a person?
What one person you can? Why?
It's such a weird question. If you could wrestle anybody on the planet, who would you?
You could wrestle anybody on the planet.
Question.
I'm weird. Who would you want to wrestle?
You.
Okay. I'm not wrestling you back. I'll just let you in.
Not that I'm wrestling you back.
I'm too old for
that.
that.
You and me, one of these days, you and me are going to come to blows.
No,
it's only a matter of time.
Not at all. Not at all. Very little that you say or do bothers me to the level where I would get upset.
You challenge me, sir.
All the time. All right. So you have two. So that was just the beginning. That was the Yes, I Have an Opinion segment. The next two segments are, the three segments left are Overtly Opinionated versus Logophile, Politics and Gelato, and then there's the Free Association. I will let you, do you want to talk about Overtly Opinionated or do you want to talk about Politics and Gelato first?
As one thing, Politics and Gelato? Is that two separate choices?
Politics and Gelato is one topic, and Overtly Opinionated is another topic. Which one do you want to go?
I'm curious what Politics and Gelato is. Let's
You're
go
so
there.
predictable. It's hilarious.
Let's go there. I'm curious what that.
Okay.
What that's about.
So first, we're going to talk about the gelato. There was a bevy of questions about cooking, and you were starting to try to ruin it before. How did you get into cooking? I know it's something that you're very fond with. My grandmother.
But that's the honest answer. It's my grandmother. I'm not. You can give me all the shit in the world for being a stereotype, because it is a stereotypical story that a lot of the time that you hear it, I don't think it's actually true. But in my instance, it really is. That, like, when they took me in, I was so grateful that I wanted to be at her side no matter what she was doing for a long time. And I kind of just picked it up by osmosis in the beginning. But then I came to really love it because I associated it with being at her side.
Oh, that's nice.
It sounds so goddamn hokey when I say it out loud. But it's
you love your grandmother. There's nothing wrong with that. You gotta live your best life, brother. It's okay. You're allowed to love her, and miss her and adore her. What did she cook with you? What was she most adept at? What did she like cooking the most?
So my grandmother was French, but grew up in North Africa.
Okay.
So she made a lot of like Moroccan couscous dishes and lamb and like what today we call Middle Eastern food, even though a lot of it is actually has its roots in North Africa. Mm-hmm. So like the recipe card that everybody fought over when she died was her couscous recipe, which I am the steward of now because I was like, I don't want anything else from her. I want her box of recipes. My parents' generation, like my dad and his sisters, can have everything else. I just want the recipe box. So I got the recipe box because I was like, I don't want anything else. Keep the money. Keep the gold. I just want the recipes.
She had gold too?
Oh, she was a jewelry store's worst nightmare.
Oh, okay. If God had intended us to follow recipes, he wouldn't have given us grandmothers.
That's for sure. That is for sure.
Go ahead.
There is a line that I heard from an African-American friend of mine once, but that really speaks to me and about how I cook, which is that, like, I cook things until I hear the spirit of my ancestors say that's enough.
Mm. I got goddamn glasses.
But those recipes have earned me more money than I would have made off of just getting a lump sum too.
I would have taken some of the gold just a little.
And like, I'll get the gold when my dad dies. Like that's the long and short of it. Like it's not like my father's gonna outlive me.
Does your dad cook? Does your dad or mom cook?
Yes.
Are
They
good
both
cooks?
cook. They both cook in very specific milieu.
Okay.
Like my dad, I love him dearly. He has the palate of a 12-year-old. So like there's only so much that he'll eat.
Oh. Chicken nuggets.
Yeah, pretty much. Nah, it's not that bad. But like he doesn't like spicy stuff. He doesn't like strongly flavored stuff. You know, meat and potatoes. So that helped me because I learned to cook meat and potatoes, which was not something I learned to cook from my grandma.
Okay.
And like I love that too. And like that's what the other side of my family, my mom's side, I have a line of female butchers on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Like my grandma, my maternal, my mother's father's mother was a butcher. My grandmother was a butcher. So like that side is how I got into that. And I love that life.
That's a great segue into butchering. I wasn't going to ask about that, but since you brought it up, how did you get into being a butcher? Was it family? Was it necessity of work? Was it like a craft that you worked on?
It started out with a fascination with human anatomy, which then became a fascination with animal anatomy.
So are you low-key telling us that you were like practicing your serial killer stuff?
No, but I'm low-key telling you that I've often considered wanting to go into like pathology.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
And then that turned into like a fascination with general like mammal anatomy. And then learning that, I learned I could put it to use paired with my cooking skills of like wanting to know. Here's another James's soapbox thing. Sorry, there's gonna be a lot of these today. We as modern meat eating humans are far too removed from what goes into that meat ending up on your plate. And I wanted to learn every step from raising the animals to slaughtering the animals to butchering the animals to cooking the animals. And then I found out I had a talent for butchery.
All right.
Agreed. Once it's dead, it's meat.
The debone the chicken. Oh, okay.
Yep.
You guys are very well-rounded.
All mammals for the.
Subscribe to the show. Subscribe to, I guess, the
RFN.
The Lego. We don't call it that. We call it the Lagos Respect Network.
So the coup is official. Okay, I got it.
Isn't that official? I think that some serial killers. Thank you, Cena. Wow, Cena agreed with me. Oh
no! No! They're ganging up on me.
Nobody's ganging up on you. That would never happen. What's your favorite type of meat to cut, sir?
Pigs.
Why? I think I'm mad you knew I had
You are asking questions, the answer to which make me sound like a serial killer. Like, truly.
Wait, hold on.
Truly.
Let's add up. You might be a serial killer, and the answers that you're giving are just clarifying that. I'm not making you sound like a serial killer, sir.
No, okay, allow me to rephrase. The answers to the questions you are asking make me sound like a serial killer. Like I need to go hang out with the guy who played the. Anyway.
Oh, shot to the heart. How are they leading? I don't know the answers to them. Okay. Jimmy,
I like cutting up pigs because they're large, but they're not so large that you have to cut them up in chunks like a cow.
Messaging. So, Jimmy, just for the Johns, did I tell you any of the questions I'm asking you?
No.
You think I'm trying to lead you?
He just wrote me a text today at about 10 a.m. that said something to the effect of, "Oh man, the questions I have for you, oh man."
But
ludicrous. Then didn't tell me. I have had an escalating case of nerves all fucking day.
Exactly. I don't know why. As a farm kid working in chicken factories and vegetable factories, due to capitalism, there is no non-exploitative way.
There is no ethical consumption under capitalism.
Oh.
And for the record, I have also farmed professionally, like vegetables. I have also fished professionally. Like, it's not just the meat.
And you like?
I want to know as much as I can possibly know about where all of it comes from.
Okay, so you just have an obsession with food.
The reference that I make all the time is that I learned the shit to make myself indispensable when the apocalypse comes.
The zombie apocalypse or the regular apocalypse?
Any apocalypse.
Okay.
It's gonna have to be somebody who knows how to grow the fucking food.
Okay. It was a very angry answer.
What was it?
Yeah.
Realistic.
So, if you could have any 4 people over for dinner, dead or alive, what 4 people would you invite? I know it's going to be a wild answer.
Andy Warhol, Patti Smith.
Who?
Really?
Yeah, you're going to have to.
Google is your friend.
You could just tell me who Patti Smith is.
She was the first female punk rocker, but also is a poet and was in a relationship with one of my favorite artists.
Who's that?
Robert Mapplethorpe, the photographer.
Oh, artist. You mean a real artist? Okay,
yeah.
Not a musician.
She's a musician and a poet, and lived a life that I would love to have lived if I was 20 years older. She grew up in New York City, writing and reading poetry at places like CBGB as the punk thing was happening. She's also a brilliant musician. You should look her up. Look up her music.
Okay. Mr. Nails.
Yes, sir. I didn't finish answering. That was only 3 people.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Andy Warhol, John Lennon, Patti Smith, Anton LaVey.
Who?
Although one of these things is not like the other.
Who?
The guy who created Satanism back in the 60s. No. I want to change that answer. But again, this makes me look like a serial killer. Charles Manson. I've always been very curious what that man's aura was like.
So you want to meet the serial killer?
Yes. In fact, oh, I thought you did that. I thought you were making a point there.
No.
Maybe Matt was making a point there.
Yeah, I thought we should move on.
I have always been fascinated with old Charlie.
So those are the four people you would have at dinner. What would you cook?
Steaks.
Steaks. What temperature?
Baked potato, nice salad.
What temperature?
If you eat your steak more cooked than medium rare, don't talk to me.
Okay. I like my food to not have red, so you're gonna have to just deal with it. You can fight my mama.
You and Donald Trump.
It's probably a lot of people. James. If you could cook a meal for anybody in the whole world, who would you cook a meal for? I know the answer to that.
One person.
Sure.
That person. That person.
Wait. Who? Oh, the person I'm thinking of?
If I could cook a meal for one person, I'd like to have a sit-down talk with Barack Obama. Cook him a meal.
Oh, you can't make a mistake though, because he's gonna want it medium well.
Like Chicagoan to Chicagoan, I'd like to have a chat with that man.
Have you ever seen him in Chicago?
Oh, absolutely. I worked on his Senate campaign.
Oh, did you?
Yep. And his presidential campaign. Both.
Nice. What is your favorite?
I wish you hadn't told me that.
Oh, I didn't see. Bring it up, please, Mr. I had a nice red steak. Husband's well done. Oh, well done is great.
Ugh. Ugh.
Ugh, what? Oh, called out again.
Oh, that's valid. That's actually valid.
Okay.
Crowley was an interesting character for that one.
I don't know who that is. What was your favorite way of preparing food or making food?
Like favorite type of cuisine?
Sure.
I don't understand the question.
Yes.
Barbecue.
Oh, okay.
Or like Southern food in general. Hey, sis.
Hey, sis.
Southern food in general.
Anyway.
Anyway.
What's your favorite thing to barbecue?
Brisket. But you put barbecue sauce on a turd, I'll eat it. Like, I like barbecue in general. Doesn't really matter what.
Okay. So it's time for the politics part. I'm just kidding. The gelato part. Gelato is a very opulent, highfalutin type of dessert. Is that emblematic of how you are or how you view yourself?
I'm a hedonist in the philosophical definition of the word. Like, I think we only have the here and now, so we might as well enjoy it. And like, if that reads as opulence, then sure, I guess. I don't think of it as opulence. I think of it as living. You know.
Cantonese barbecue pork is better than bacon. I said it. Okay.
I love Asian barbecue.
I don't know what's the difference between Asian.
If I had to limit it down even further, if I could only eat one type of barbecue for the rest of my life, it would be Korean.
Oh. Okay. So we've talked about your gelato stuff, so we won't go there again unless you want to. How is the gelato business going for you right now?
Business is good. We're starting to hire employees, which is frankly the scariest part of it for me. It's like dealing with people. But part of the point, and I haven't really talked about this aspect of it, is that it's also going to be a school for performers, like a training center.
Hold on. I have to back into this to understand. It's going to be a school for performers and a gelato.
That the people we employ are also going to be performers who we are, or people who aspire to be performers who we will also be training.
Oh, okay.
So like part of the job is also going to be to perform in some sense.
Okay. So, okay, part of the job is going to be to perform. What does that mean, sir?
Mostly circus arts, because I am also in my spare time a sideshow performer. That's where the handle comes from, and it is an art that is dying. As well as just the circus arts in general are starting to go, unless you're at like a Cirque du Soleil level. And I think that there needs to be an in-between kind of. As problematic as it is, I have a great affection for the old carnival style in a tent. You pay a dime and you don't know what you're gonna see kind of deal. Like I'm also building a 10-cent museum in the space, and the whole thing is supposed to invoke the feeling of like a carnival in the 1930s.
Wait, I don't know how different it is for queer relationships paying for a dick compared to a man paying for. Okay.
Yeah. And like, if I had a nickel for every person who has come up to me and gone, "How do you do that? Is it a magic trick?" I'd be freaking rich. So it's about teaching these skills that have been passed down from person to person to person for 100 years almost. And being the steward of that and making sure it doesn't die.
Okay. Woo, that's a lot. That's cool.
Yeah, it's important to me though. It's like,
does gelato connect you in the same way that food does to your grandmother?
I mean, she liked to consume it. She was not a maker. It's a very complicated math equation making good gelato, because everything has to be in perfect. It's kind of a great metaphor for life, actually, because everything has to be in perfect balance or it comes out fucked.
Okay. That makes sense.
And like, that's how I like to think of my life. Like, you were asking me, like, are you a good guy or are you a bad guy? It's like, no, I just am. Like, true neutral. Absolute neutral. Center of the alignment chart in D&D.
What does he win? All right.
That's me.
Okay. All right. So
I'm sorry that I keep bringing everything back to like philosophy, but that's kind of what I do.
But why are you sorry? It's your interview.
It's pretentious, and I know it.
Okay, that makes you happy.
That's like my secret shame, that I'm a little bit pretentious.
Okay, so when it comes to
what? I don't like that.
No.
What? You make me fucking nervous when you do that. It has nothing to do with you. Good. I'm glad to hear that.
All right, so you have we're gonna go away from the food a little bit because we're probably gonna wrap up soon.
Already?
I didn't say now. I said soon.
I could go for hours, bro.
I know you can do this. You can do this all night, right? Like Cap.
Exactly, like Cap.
Yes. I'm surprised you didn't invite Captain America to your dinner.
Not a real person. Not people. Fictional character. If we're talking fictional characters, my list is totally different.
Go. So to do your list, then we're going to talk about your show coming to.
Of fictional characters.
Yes, sir.
The main characters from Fight Club, Captain America, Alice from Alice in Wonderland. We're still doing 4.
If you have more than 4, please.
The main character from the book House of Leaves, and Captain Kirk.
Okay, busy.
You know
party.
that's why I named myself James.
James Tiberius.
It's after Captain Kirk.
Yes, I think you told me that before. I think that's a very noble answer. Sorry. So, you have a show coming soon. You haven't given the details. It is a political show.
Kind of. It is kind of a political show.
Oh, okay. It's kind of a political show. Okay. What do you want people to take away from this new show? What's the premise of it?
So, there is a belief that it is easier to accept LGBT people as a whole if someone close to you, someone that you understand, turns out to be LGBT. And I think that theory can apply to most things. So what I want to do is interview interesting people about what led them to have the political beliefs that they have. So it's an interview show, and it's kind of about politics, but not really. That's like the elevator pitch I've been giving people. So it's easier to understand a person's beliefs if you understand the person.
Sorry.
Does that make sense?
Oh, I kind of got kicked out. Say that again.
That the idea that it's easier to accept a culture if you know someone that is a member of that culture applies more widely. And I want to facilitate conversation between people who might not otherwise have it. Like, will you allow me to momentarily speak the praises of Rob Fishback? Is that okay with you on your show, sir?
Of course. Sure. Yeah.
He and I agree about basically nothing, but there's a mutual respect there. And I think if more people could do that, the world would be a better place. Just have mutual respect for one another as people.
Okay.
And I want to facilitate more of that in the world.
Okay. That's what you want to do on your show?
Yes. I want people to tell the story of what led them to the politics that they have. Because they're usually pretty profound stories, in my experience.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to pause for a second. Cena had a question before.
Oh?
Do you think that we're going to see the human... wait, hold on. I want to get it right. Do you think we're going to see the apocalypse in our lifetime? I believe that's what she asked.
I think we're in the midst of it.
Ooh.
And I think we are dangerously close to a tipping point. I think we are dangerously close to many tipping points. That any one of them will lead to the point of no return.
Anyone.
Like, be it socio-political, be it environmental, be it, the effect that those two have on one another. It's like, things like water scarcity, which my friends in California know all about.
Mm-hmm.
And things like, meat consumption and the amount of food, the amount of energy and stuff that goes into producing the food that we all eat, and how much waste there is. And that's just the avenue that I know best because it's what I've studied. But then there's, all kinds of socio-political stuff that could happen. Like, war with Russia is a very real possibility. Or
it happened.
Or civil war is a very real. It's not something that I write out. It's something I think could happen, and it's something that I've thought could happen. Again, it makes me sound a little crazy, but it's something that I've thought could happen as long as I've been aware of politics. It's like, the first time I had the ability to vote was W. Like,
wow.
it started bad and has only gotten worse in my time of awareness. So the answer I'm going to give is hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Okay. If you could have any guest on who you vehemently disagree with, who would you have? Come on.
I'd like to have a conversation with Jordan Peterson.
Yes.
Because I don't understand how the motherfucker comes to the conclusions he comes to from the things he says. Because a lot of the things he says on their surface, on like the very, very surface level, I agree with. Like, your life is better if you're not living in chaotic clutter. Make your fucking bed. Shit like that.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Like all species have to not all survive.
That. And we allow ourselves to be fragile. That like really is the root, the core of everything that I do. Is like fighting back against fragility. Because like I have a broken ass body. I have a shit ton of physical problems. But they have made me tough. And like I've always said that the day that they produce cyborg bodies that you can just like drop a consciousness into is the day that I become unstoppable.
So one of the things that Elon talks about is this neural implant chip. If you could get said neural implant chip, would you do that if it was going to fix your body, quote unquote, your broken body?
Not if he was the one making it.
So you don't think he is? Well,
I don't think he's the one.
I don't think he makes the stuff. I think he understands a lot of it.
Okay, allow me to rephrase. Not if they were being produced by some multi-conglomerate company. It's like, I don't trust that shit as far as I can throw it. And I've seen with my own eyes and like executed with my own hands how easy it is to hack shit. And like, I don't want that in my brain. I want that in my brain. No, thank you. And like, goddamn well that if that was pushed out by a company like one of Elon's companies or like Apple, the first thing they would do is use it to pump advertising directly into your brain. and no goddamn thank you.
Ooh.
Like, no.
What if they could turn your brain into like an iPhone 36?
Yeah, no. Because they planned obsolescence and all that shit. No thank you. But like in the hands of like I don't know, a Linux community or like something that was more universal, I would absolutely do that. But I'm thinking more like Ghost in the Shell style, where it's like a human consciousness.
Okay, so let's say Elon developed that. Let's say Elon and Bill Gates got together, got really high, and they developed that, and it worked. Would you do it then?
Again, not if they were the ones. Like,
Why?
in theory, yes, but like, I don't trust. God, I sound so fucking paranoid. I don't trust the people that have the ability to do it. I don't trust to do it.
Well, so you trust the people who don't have the ability to do it?
Well, it's like I trust the programmer. I don't trust the business side. Oh, that's I know. He is the Edison, not the Tesla of our generation. And by that I mean he's stolen everything he claims to create from other people.
So what? So you're going against your own logic because if he didn't necessarily create it, but he just puts a big
I don't like the idea of someone like him having power over it.
Okay.
Because like that would give someone like Elon Musk, the power to literally override my control over my own body.
Is Elon Musk like a modern Lex Luthor?
Yes, but not nearly as cool or together as Lex Luthor. Like Lex Luthor had a drip. Elon has no drip. Like,
I'm not
Lex
Luthor. So my argument isn't that he is or isn't a tech guy, and I'm not saying that he develops stuff. I'm more asking the question if you had access to it, because I'm sure he's smart, but Lex Luthor's also not really real.
Thundering dumbass. That's perfect. Yes. Yes.
Okay, you guys are being literal. I am not saying that Elon can do this. I was saying Elon spoke about the chip. I was asking about the chip, not about like, Elon.
Yes, if that chip existed,
would you use it? That's all I ask.
In an ethical fashion, I would absolutely use it. But a lot would have to change about the world we live in for that chip to be produced in an ethical fashion. How about that for an answer? Like, in theory, yes.
Okay. So, since you seem to have this huge love for Elon, why do you hate him?
Emotional damage.
Because he's like he has the same energy as every douchey kid who bullied me in school because he was insecure about himself. Like, that guy needs a good therapist.
Elon?
Bad. Yes, Elon. Because, like, he clearly has some unresolved issues.
He came out and
said he's clearly stunted at, like...
He's clearly divergent. He's clearly neurodivergent. I don't care if you believe it.
Is he, though?
You don't think he is?
I don't think he is. I think he wants to be.
Okay. I can see that.
Because I think it would give him an excuse for the things I'm talking about, which are just like he's not autistic. He's just a douchebag.
No, he has autistic traits.
And like, I think he wants people to think he's autistic because that would give his douchebaggery an excuse.
Okay.
I just don't think he ever had to interact with people.
Can you bring up what the captain said? I don't know what's going on. Me and the captain are agreeing.
Because of...
I think he has a lot of I'm not defending his personality. So when I work with people that are autistic in counseling, a lot of them look up to Elon Musk. But you have to understand, you're talking about he is a dick. Yes, sure. Would you want his life though?
No.
Why?
With great power comes great responsibility, and I'm shitty with responsibility.
Oh, stop it!
Like, I'm shitty with responsibility.
You're so uber dramatic.
I just want to be responsible for my goddamn self. Nothing more, nothing less.
Thank you. Can you bring up what?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God.
God damn. That chose violence today, apparently. Exactly. Like, there's a difference.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Look what.
There's a difference between being autistic and not being properly socialized. I just think he was never properly socialized.
But he has autistic traits.
I hear you saying that.
I know you don't agree.
I don't see them.
Okay.
And I think that is potentially insulting to people who are.
Why? To say somebody has traits?
Because he's a douchebag.
Okay, so.
And most of the autistic people I know are soft-spoken, kind people. And he is the opposite of that.
No. That's erroneous. I've seen so many that are douchebags.
All right, then maybe I have a poisoned demographic.
No.
Because
No.
every autistic person that I know is quiet and to themselves.
I think so. The problem is that it's too general to be specific.
Fair enough.
It's too general to be specific. Right.
And also there's a difference between the way it manifests in men and women. And I predominantly know autistic assigned female at birth people. So there's that aspect too, I suppose, now that I'm thinking about what I said.
Oh, so I got a question that's going to piss you off. My best female friend,
yes,
had a gender reveal today. So me and Patty were talking about gender reveals, right? And we were just like, I'm not knocking. She was super happy. I'm happy for her. How do you feel about gender reveal parties?
I would feel differently about them if they weren't perpetually and constantly starting wildfires. And like the origin of the gender reveal party, I get. Mm-hmm. You know that story, that it was a woman who had tried really, really hard to conceive, and she finally could conceive, and she was having a daughter, and she was excited about it. So, it was a thing. But I think it's gotten blown way out of proportion, pun intended.
Oh, I see what you did there. Okay.
As with a lot of things that start out good, the Karens ruined it.
Oh, yes, that's true. Can you bring up what Mr. Bainbridge said? Whether Musk is neurodivergent or not, he's still being horrible and toxic. These two facts are unrelated. Again, let me say this for the people in the back. I am not defending Elon Musk. I was merely saying I've heard him speak about the chip. And hold on, I'm sorry. And B, he is. I haven't seen I don't follow him a lot. I only know like the major things. I was just pointing out that he has autistic traits. I am not saying that he is autistic and that makes him a dick. I'm saying that he's a dick and he happens to be on the spectrum. That's all. Go ahead, James.
And I'm going to say that we have to think about optics. It's like, I know that, and you know that, John, but I think that concept is outside of the realm of understanding for most people, because a lot of people would, because he would be their only marker of what an autistic person is.
That's the problem.
That's what they would think autistic people are. And like that's where I take umbrage. Like, the two aren't related.
Yeah.
But that concept is too deep for most people, I think.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Summon the devil and he shall appear, I guess.
I don't know. Is that the logo or is that the captain?
Oh, I was talking about Rob.
I know. Oh boy.
Summon the devil and he shall appear. This is my fault and I'm sorry. Wow. I didn't think it was possible for Rob to find a more ridiculous hat, but he has. Why?
Where's Lego?
Crocodile
Lego, save us.
This is my paleontology hat.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Why? Oh my god. What the
man.
fuck do you mean?
Oh, that wrecked me.
Yeah. I'm done. I can't.
Right. I think my favorite.
Helen, you're live on air on the RFN.
Hi, Helen.
If otherwise, you're just gonna complain I don't answer your calls.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Hi, Helen.
Can you guys hear her?
Yeah. Hi, Helen. Hi, Big Mac.
I'm gonna let you guys converse while I go change hats.
What?
You're live on air.
What is going on?
See, I can be a bully, but I use my powers for good.
No.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Ooh, he wishes. Don't give him that credit. That'll go to his head.
No. Oh my god. Where?
At least we can see your eyes in this one. That other hat, the shadow was halfway down your face.
I don't know what's going on because I can't see anything.
I crash everyday experts.
Oh, for sure.
Hi, Helen.
Hi.
Oh, Rob.
Hi, Big Mac. Yes, please look up. Look up. Please go on.
I have a corncob pipe that goes with this hat.
Oh my god.
It's made of wood.
Are you Popeye?
No.
What's going on?
He's the professor from Gilligan with the pipe.
Well, so I have a fish shirt that I wear, not the band.
Oh.
Like all these tiny little fish that are on this button up. I wore it for a party one time in 2019.
Is this story going somewhere?
No, that's the story.
Rob, how are you doing, Rob, since you crashed our show?
Oh.
I did this. I summoned him. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I talked about him and now he's here. I said something positive about him and now he's here.
Okay, so now we're going to. Oh, you can tell him what you said.
What'd you say?
I told him this before.
He's talking trash.
No,
he was actually being
I
nice.
said something nice about you.
I was told I was a mid yesterday. I don't know what the hell that means.
You're a mid.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Mid, like middle.
I don't know what's going on.
Thurston Howell the third. Yeah, I feel like I should get my corncob pipe. So how's the show going? What are you guys talking about?
It was actually going pretty well.
We were talking about Jimmy's political show. That's more like I don't know, whatever he wants to call it. And then we were talking about Elon Musk.
Oh, Helen, you got anything for these guys before I let you go? Because we were talking about Elon.
No.
What? Well, I called to talk to you, and then I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Rob, go talk to my
Go
friend.
talk to
Helen.
your sister.
Bye, Rob.
I'm gonna tell you I was at Walmart, but
Well, I'm sorry for that intrusion, y'all.
No. I don't know what's going on.
I think I'm gonna start calling him Rob Headroom because he just shows up on screen like that.
I don't care that he should. I mean, it's part of his network. Thank you, Captain.
Thank God.
Thank
and
you.
balance has been returned to the Force.
Rob, what are you doing?
Make it stop.
You can't just come in here and steal Sir Joker and Jimmy's shows.
Rob, are you going to say something? You don't say
I think we're gonna have a performance review at the end of the month. You know, Matt won Employee of the Year every month. Year. He
I'll
won the
take year. I'll
already.
take year.
20, you got it. 2023.
Okay.
It's you. We'll remind everyone at the beginning of the month. Rob, we're gonna have to have a talk.
Hey, Rob, what's with the sailor hat?
Hi, Helen.
Oh no, he has more hats.
I don't know
Oh
what's
my
going
God.
on.
Should I get a hat?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's see. I only have
Cool,
one
good.
hat, but I use it for my camera because I don't have a camera bag.
So you use the hat?
Yeah. Don't judge it. Just know it to be true. But I'm a Smurf.
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're live on air.
yeah, I know I am. Well, I don't know why.
Who is he on the phone with now?
Why are you messing
No,
with
Helen.
Helen?
No, she called me. She wants to talk to you guys.
I don't even know what to do with this.
Oh my God. Now he has a pipe. Get out. Get out.
Why are you wearing that hat, Rob?
Why couldn't the little boy get into the movie?
All right.
Rated R.
Rob's gonna need a bigger boat.
Take control of
yep.
your ship, Joker.
All right. So we're gonna finish up, Jimmy. We're gonna do the last few fill in the blanks because I don't know what's going on. So Rob Fishbeck wants to know what your favorite car is.
So, growing up, my dad drove a 280Z, and I fucking loved that car. It fell apart before I was old enough to drive it,
Oh.
but that's the one. And I've been looking for a car of the same make and model for the last 20 years. I don't think they exist anymore.
Okay.
It-
Good.
The 280Z was the first car that Nissan made in the 70s.
Mr. Fishbeck also wants to know what your dream vacation would be.
A long time up a mountain completely alone.
Okay. Matt, what would your dream vacation be?
My dream, I want to go to Greece.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Captain?
There's this really cool island called Jekyll Island. It's not quite private, but it's almost a private island on a beach. It's really pretty. I would definitely recommend it if you ever have a chance to go.
I'll go with Lego.
You asked me before what I'd do if I had Elon Musk money. I would buy my own island. There's a website that's like real estate, but it's specifically private islands, and I look at it every day.
If I had his kind of money, I'd buy the moon and send people I don't like there.
Mr. Miller wants to know what your favorite meal to cook for others is.
I don't know.
If I have all day, grandma's couscous, but I
Why does
also
couscous take so long? It doesn't take like 90 seconds in the box.
no, it's like a stew dish. It's like a stew dish with couscous.
Isn't couscous like rice?
Yeah.
Yes, it's like a I don't think how to do it. Kind of like a chicken cacciatore almost, where it's like chicken and herbs and fruit and tomato and stuff all stewed together, and then it's put over the top of couscous.
Okay. Cena wants to know what your signature meal is. I thought you answered this, but
One of the best things that came out of living in New Orleans for as long as I did
gumbo.
is
Jumbo.
I learned to cook fried chicken under one of the most famous fried chicken masters on the planet.
Colonel Sanders?
At the time that I learned to cook from her was 98 years old and still making fried chicken on an on like a restaurant scale. It was incredible. The woman's name was Leah Chase, and she worked in a restaurant called Dookie Chase, which was her father. And the restaurant was a famous hub of civil rights in the United States. And I'm one of 3 Caucasian people that she ever taught the secrets.
Oh, wow.
It was me, Emeril Lagasse, and one other dude.
Really?
Because I just kind of hung around the restaurant.
Bam!
I just kind of hung around the restaurant the way people hang around the back doors of nightclubs and venues waiting to meet their favorite musicians and actors. I just kind of hung around the restaurant until they let me into the kitchen.
Okay.
Yes, Rob.
Thank you. So how who is Popeye? Not I know the cartoon character.
What?
But
the restaurant is named after the cartoon character, Rob.
Oh really?
The restaurant is named after.
And he's not Popeye. Is it Bruno?
But he's not Cajun.
No. He was just a popular character at the time that the restaurant came about.
But who's the other guy? Bruno?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Rob's Bruno.
Because I'm big and strong.
That's a sentence.
That's fair. I'll take that.
There's
Yep.
Popeye.
Another one of my passions, old cartoons.
Ooh, what's your favorite?
Oh,
Yeah, I can ask a question.
Good
Bimbo.
job, Lee.
Bimbo. Bimbo was a cartoon?
Bimbo the dog.
Oh.
Never heard of it.
Pluto?
Betty Boop's boyfriend.
She dated a dog?
She is a dog.
What?
Betty Boop, for the first 3 years she existed, was an anthropomorphic dog.
You tell lies.
I swear on my life.
You talking about the girl from Who's Framed Roger Rabbit that's cigar?
That's Jessica Rabbit. I'm not bad. I'm just drunk.
No. She was working the nightclub and she's like,
There's two
cigars, cigarettes.
There's 2 different characters, both of which were Betty Boop. But there is a version of Betty Boop who is a dog, who is an anthropomorphic dog.
Oh, boy. All right. Matt wants to know.
Desperate subject change. Yes, sir.
I want to know if Rob's wearing that shirt because of Black History Month.
What shirt?
Or is it that 80% of his network's minorities?
No. So this shirt's actually an extra large. It's kind of baggy on me because I'm a large. It's one of my my night shirts that I wear to like
Yeah.
sleep.
My shirt's an XL. Your shirt's baggy. Okay.
I got it for $3 on clearance in 2019. About 6
Thank
months
you.
after the movie.
Thank you for making my people feel unimportant, Rob.
Gonna make a speech, so you know. Hope everyone has a happy Black History Month.
Yeah, every Black History Month, Rob likes to hang out with his boys.
Oh
Just show
Oh no,
represent.
God!
no. No.
Where's
How
Tina?
long had you been sitting on that picture to make that
I
joke?
just did it. I just did it. And it's gone.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I can't with you guys. All right, so next week, the
Wait,
11th.
you didn't ask me about the dream vacation.
Next week, February 11th, Jen Suhan's coming on. She's gonna give Jimmy a run for the money. She is a performer. She's on Barbara, one of her personalities. Jimmy, you better tune in. I might have you come on and talk to her because I think you're gonna fall in love instantly with who she is. She's
Alas,
dope.
my heart belongs to another.
No, not fall in love like that. Fall in love with who she is. I don't know. That's whatever. Matt, take us out. Joke her out.
All right. You guys have a good night.